earpiece in.
Hey everybody, I'm Madalyn Sklar, the host of the Social ROI Chat, and wow, did we have an amazing one. I'm here with our incredible guest, Sonia Gregory from FreshSparks. Oh my gosh, Sonia, that was amazing.
Thank you. So fast.
It's like the fastest hour, right? A Twitter chat. Isn't it just amazing?
Yeah, it really is. You can't stop. Especially, I mean, I never thought about it like being the guest. You have to be on constantly.
Absolutely.
And engagement, and I feel bad because I have to go back. I always go back after, and I try to respond to everybody.
Yeah.
What they're saying.
Yeah, which I always do the same thing. And you had a very captive crowd. Oh my gosh, they were just like throwing stuff out there the whole time. It is hard to keep up with it. It's a lot of tweets.
Yeah. I was trying to teach someone today because they had no idea what it was. And I was trying to explain it step by step. And I was trying to teach her, like, think of it as like, coming into a room where, anybody can come in, but
right.
You can't really be in the room without putting your hashtag on anything you say. So,
right. Absolutely. So for those that are here live, we welcome you, and you can certainly ask a question if you have one for Sonia. So do feel free to just post in the comment, and she can answer that. This is just a really brief, our little after chat where we love having our guests come on. It's so cool because we go from like tweeting away, which is kind of like text messaging, right? Like we don't see the other person, we're just chatting, and now we come on video and they get to actually see us, and it's such a neat thing to do.
Yeah, it's cool. I've never done this be live TV either. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we've been having a lot of fun with this, especially for those that can watch the playback. You wrote a really incredible article that ties in to this chat that I definitely want people to go check out. It's called How to Set Realistic Social Media Goals for Business Growth. That was an amazing article you wrote. I mean, how long did it take you to do that? Like it would take me probably weeks to write something. Like that was a long form post, very related to what we're talking about today.
Yeah, we try to go really in depth with our content to give not just an overview, also kind of like tactical advice of things you could actually put into practice and actions you can take. So, this post was, I want to say, almost like 3,600 words. So not only just providing value to people, but it's good for the search engines, and it's good for sharing and things like that. And it just gives really good steps, I think, backing up this idea of coming up with goals behind social media, because it's something that you need to do really for anything, especially marketing related, and that you can do now for social media because there's so many metrics you can track, and people don't remember that, especially, when I put up that data. I think, let me just read it so I don't get it wrong. I think it was about like 41% of businesses don't know how much social media is impacting, their business or what the financial impact is. And that's a huge number. And I think they just don't realize that there are analytics now, and there's data, and there's actual specific things that you can do and goals that you can set to measure against, and, go where progress is happening and drop the things that don't work. And it's not just kind of what social media maybe used to be, which is, I guess people think it was just more of a party as opposed to an environment where you can do business. So, obviously in the past few years, more businesses are getting on board with that, but I think there's still gaps in how they're measuring and tracking. And hopefully when you set goals, you're able to really get those numbers down and understand.
Right. What are the best ways to measure? What has been your experience with this?
Well, it really depends. It depends on what your business wants to do. There's different types of goals. You can try to build brand awareness by growing your community. It's not always about the vanity, metrics that they say,
right?
Like get all the followers or get all the page likes. But what does that really mean? Are they engaging with your content? Are they sharing? Are they reaching out to you? Are they buying things from you? Those things all support kind of the brand awareness, in addition to just getting that high number of, thousands of people who you might have in your community, but if they're not really doing anything there, and it doesn't matter. So I think that's one of the things that you can start to track, and just understanding, do you want to gain new customers? Do you want to strengthen your customer service? Do you want to increase engagement? And then what things, and then work backwards and say, what things do you need to get there? And be really specific. And I put a lot of examples. I tried to throw some specific examples into the chat too, so people can see really how detailed you can get. Because you don't want to just say, oh, I want to sell 10 things on Facebook. Like, what does that mean? Like, when is it happening? What are you going to do to get there? It's not really motivating, you know? And that goes back to also the team question, because if you do have a team for your business, the businesses that do have the resources like that, they have to be laser focused on what exactly they're doing. So, you know, instead of saying 10 products on Facebook, you could say, I want to, you know, convert 10 sales within 30 days, and by posting content every day, you know, using a clear call to action, implementing a clicks to site ad for X amount of dollars. And that gives you like very clear steps of what you can do to hopefully achieve that goal. And if not, if you can't achieve it, then you adjust and you say, okay, well, maybe we need to do some different things to get there. Or maybe you like really surpass it because you aimed kind of low, and then you know how to benchmark for your next goals as well. So we try to do that. We try to intro that for all our clients in general, for any activity they do when we go into strategy, like always trying to set specific, timely, measurable goals that are backed by data. And you know, whether they're an existing business that has a lot of metrics we can pull from, or a new business where we kind of have to guess, it always helps to put that down on paper, because every activity you do and anything you execute will always be against those goals. So you always have something to kind of fall back to or reference against, instead of just like throwing like darts at a board or spaghetti against the wall or whatever.
I think a lot of people do that.
Yeah,
I think it's scary how many people go that route. And I think they need people like us to like guide them and support them and show them that there's a really good way to do this if you follow these methods.
Yeah, and I think people try, and then people also try to do too much because they're like, oh, social media where there's, you know, like 6, 7 networks, let's be on all of them. But you don't really need to be on all of them. If you know your target audience is only hanging out on 1 or 2 or 3, go for those. Or really, if you're a smaller business, just focus on that one where you definitely know they are, instead of trying to spread yourself too thin, because then you're going to have too many goals and you're not going to have enough time, and then you're never going to reach them probably. So I really try to make sure that people are like focused on the core key social networks as opposed to trying to do everything. So it dilutes really the efforts in general. It's good, I think, to claim your space at least, so you have your name there and someone doesn't like snatch it up. Then you're like, oh, my brand name's taken. Let me get an alternate with like hyphens or underscores or like just, you know, it kind of sucks when that happens. So I would say at least claim all your spaces, and then as you grow and as you have more time and more resources, then you can kind of spread out to other areas. But it's really good to focus with the networks and focus with the goals on for specific to each network. That was another thing I think I mentioned, is that not every social media channel works the same way. The metrics are different, the terminology is different, and then the way you like approach, let's say, social selling is different on every network too. So that's another point to remember. Like Twitter is very different from like Instagram, obviously, because they both use hashtags, but very different ways. And then same with like Facebook versus LinkedIn, that kind of thing. So always adapt the content to the audience and then set your goals from there too. I think that's important to do.
You know, adapt is the key word. It's such a great word here. You got to adapt with all the different sites because they're all different, and you got to, you know, natively post. You know, that's been like, that was like just the worst thing for years. Everybody was just, you know, one post that directed to everything all at once, which is not the way to go. And I'm always surprised when I still see people doing that. It's like, okay, you're doing it wrong. You're doing social media wrong. But that's such a good point, adapting. You had a tweet that I love so much that I want to point out. We were on question 4, and you were talking about, you said timely engagement is so important for social media, which is always on. Respond to anyone that leaves a comment and an inquiry, just like you said at the beginning of this broadcast that, you know, the chat's over, but you're still going to go back and respond to everybody. It's incredibly important. And on that particular tweet, you posted a little image that said, I love this, just as no business would ignore a customer in their store, no business should leave a social media comment unattended online. Love that.
Yeah, and that goes back to the thing again, where you think of it like a space, like you're walking into a room or an environment. You're not going to ignore someone in front of your face trying to talk to you or engage with you. So why would you do it on these platforms too? Because it's social. So social means engage and respond and comment or answer questions, that kind of thing. There's so many brands still now that they'll post something and it's crickets. Like they don't acknowledge it. They don't address it. And it reflects poorly, I think. So you have to think of it like as if these people in this community is kind of part of your life and you're in front of it and act accordingly that way. And acknowledgement is so huge on social media, especially customer service. I mean, that's
absolutely
the biggest thing. And even if you can't solve a problem right away, at least knowing that you're heard, that the user or the customer or client is heard, and that they know that it's going to be addressed. Even that little small amount of responses is important, I think. And that helps strengthen the brand perception, because if they know that you're listening and maybe someone else isn't, they're always going to go to you first.
Right. Listening is so incredibly important. That is so, I love that. This has been so great. I really appreciate you taking a few minutes to come on here afterwards and just let everybody see you and learn a little bit more. Here, I like to go what I refer to go beyond the 140 characters, because you know, with Twitter, you were doing those multiple responses to the questions, which was so great. And all I can just think is you could probably just talk about, because this was such good stuff to talk about. So thank you so much. What are the best ways for people to get in touch with you?
You can find me on Twitter at FreshSparks. I'm pretty responsive. Same thing on Facebook, /FreshSparks, or our website is freshsparks.com. And yeah, tweet me. I'll definitely tweet back at you. So that's probably the quickest way to get in touch.
Yeah, I'm posting your Twitter on here so people can go and I got the article. I have it actually pinned to the top here. Definitely want everybody to check out that article. Was just so good. I was so impressed.
Thank you.
Your Twitter's on there. So thank you. You are incredibly awesome and very generous with your time.
Thank you so much. Thanks everybody who came to the chat.
Bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye everybody that's watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye guys.